my name is Khatia and we will be taking on the Grunge Fairycore aesthetic in today's edition of Internet Style. In the simplest of terms, Grunge Fairycore is essentially a mixture of the grunge and cottagecore aesthetics, both of which I have videos on separately if you're interested in either aesthetic. But the Fairycore aesthetic on its own is essentially what you would see the mythical creatures wearing, so they source a lot of the elements that comprise their outfits, or at least inspire them, from nature. So this means that Fairycore includes elements like plants, animals, neutral colors, and flowy materials. But since this is also a grunge aesthetic, this means that these elements are intermixed with rougher, edgier items such as platform boots, fingerless gloves, and layered silver jewelry. The themes we see in Grunge Fairycore include heavy layering, but usually with light fabrics. We see a lot of asymmetrical and torn or raw edges. This feeds into the deconstructed/reconstructed trend we're seeing pop up in 2021. The Grunge Fairycore aesthetic also features a lot of layered, ruffled, and frilly skirts or dresses, along with sweetheart or corset silhouette tops. The most recurring colors in the Grunge Fairycore aesthetic include a wide variety of neutral shades, including brown, white, gray, beige, and black. However, muted jewel tones such as sage, rust, plum, and steel blue do pop up here and there. The fabrics we see in Grunge Fairycore include knits and crochet, along with distressed or ripped fabrics, light and sheer fabrics that are easy to layer, such as lace, tulle, mesh, and occasionally fishnet, pop up often as well. Multicolor, multi-pattern, or otherwise mixed fabrics are very common in this aesthetic, along with floral patterns, marble patterns, and tie-dye. Tops in this aesthetic often have spaghetti straps, so they come in the form of corset tops or lace camisoles. We also see a lot of crop tops in general, both with short and long sleeves. If they do have long sleeves, they're most likely bell sleeves that are long enough to cover the hands. Another style of top we see often is the milkmaid top, and mesh, lace, and tulle tops are also used as layering pieces. As for bottoms, tiered, ruffled, or otherwise layered skirts are the most common item. Midi or maxi skirts in fit and flare or straight silhouettes are the other most common type of bottom, along with short skirts either in tutu or trumpet silhouettes. Occasionally, we see wide leg denim jeans or corduroy flared pants. Dresses are most often in a peasant silhouette, but fit and flares with poof or bell skirts, similar to the tutus that I mentioned earlier, are also seen very often. And all these dresses most likely have torn or raw edges. For outerwear, knit or crocheted cardigans are the most popular, both in cropped and oversized or longer silhouettes. Occasionally, we also see furs. The most popular shoe in the Grunge Fairycore aesthetic has to be the black platform boot, often in a knee-high length. Some other options include Mary Janes, mules, or sandals, most likely in a platform silhouette. The most common accessories include fingerless gloves and arm warmers, most likely in a knit fabric, along with leg warmers and patterned tights, which are often ripped. Scarves, head wraps, and headscarves are another common accessory. Messenger bags or one-shoulder bags with a longer strap are the go-to style of bag. Jewelry is often layered, both in terms of necklaces and rings. With necklaces specifically, a long beaded necklace such as a rosary or a chain of pearls are worn as a statement piece accompanied by chokers and stone or crystal gem necklaces. Other nature imagery like moons, stars, and flowers are incorporated into jewelry as well. Hair is usually worn long and loose with interspersed braids accompanied by bangs, and makeup leans natural with heavy blush and highlight, but still incorporates elements of grunge such as dark lipstick and black eyeshadow. So I try to boil all this information down into 3 trendy outfits. Everything I wear will be linked in the description, but without further ado, let's begin! The first outfit is my best attempt at capturing the Grunge Fairycore aesthetic. I went for this black tulle skirt that has an uneven handkerchief hem. This particular style of skirt and those similar to it are extremely common in this aesthetic, mainly because the asymmetry resembles ripped as opposed to cut fabric, since real fairies most likely wouldn't have access to scissors. This is why this kind of jaggedness and skewed stitching is a running theme in Grunge Fairycore. For the top half of the outfit, I went with a black spaghetti strap top with a V-shaped neckline, layered on top of a navy green long sleeve mesh top. I think the sheer fabrics of the top and skirt mesh well together. For shoes, I went with some black platform knee-high boots, as these are the Grunge Fairies' go-to style of shoe. The length of the boots also sits perfectly in opposition to the hemline of the skirt, making for a balanced look. I also wore these mesh fingerless gloves to match the skirt and a butterfly clip to act as my wings. For jewelry, I went for a handmade choker forged with a variety of neutral colored stones and some green sea glass earrings. I feel like the necklace has a bit of an occult feeling, which sits well both within the grunge and fairycore aesthetic separately, as well as together. outfit features a similar green and black color scheme, as these were the two most prominent colors I saw while researching the aesthetic, and I don't really have as many neutral pieces to style as I'd like. However, switching out any of the green pieces in both of these looks with neutral or otherwise subdued colors will have a similar feel. I based this look around a beautiful ruffled green floral mini dress, as it has layers of frills along the sleeves, which I thought resembled wings. To make the look lean a little bit more grunge, I added a few edgy accessories, including this black corset, some fishnet tights, fingerless lace gloves, and a black choker. To play into the cottagecore inspiration behind the aesthetic, I also went for a black floral head wrap. Although the floral patterns are different, the sizing and spacing between the flowers on both materials resemble one another, so the combination isn't too distracting. Not to mention, the mixing of patterns is very common amongst fairy aesthetics, so the lace gloves and fishnets only add to the overall fairy feel. To tie in the silver detailing on the corset, I added these platform Mary Janes and some silver dagger earrings. I've had this gorgeous Y2K inspired top in my closet for ages, but I never really knew how to style it until now. The asymmetrical cut, ruffles, thin straps, and pink rose detailing make it the perfect fairy piece. To make the look a bit more extravagant, I layered this black lace shrug underneath. It has an intricate neckline and a rose lace print, both of which complement the camisole. Since the top half of the outfit was very extravagant, I toned down the bottom with a simple black pleated skirt and some black platform strappy sandals. I tied in the rose detailing on the top with some floral earrings, and as for the rest of the jewelry, I wore a holographic gem necklace and a heart-shaped ring. I finished off the look with a black hair bow. If you want to dress like a grunge fairy, but you don't have any of the specific items I mentioned, you can pick out the darker neutral items in your closet and just try a bunch of different combinations. Asymmetrical, deconstructed, and multi-patterned looks are very common in this aesthetic, so as long as the colors go together, the rest of the outfit is kind of up to your discretion. If you can try to incorporate poofy, frilly, tiered, or otherwise layered items, the look is going to lean more fairycore. But if you want to take your fashion knowledge to the next level, Skillshare is a great place to start, and they have kindly sponsored today's video. If you're not familiar with Skillshare, it is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for individuals as creative and curious as yourself. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I am very passionate about any and all aspects of fashion, so I took this class called Fashion Illustration, Digital Drawing with Attitude by Danielle Meter. In this class, she discusses how to draw model figures and how to get your design ideas from your head to paper. As an artist with little formal training, it was very enlightening to hear a detailed explanation on proper proportions in illustrative works, because that is something I have struggled with a lot in the past. But Skillshare isn't by any means limited to just fashion or illustration classes. They have so many subjects available to learn, such as videography, photography, graphic design, and so many more. Because Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, there are no ads, and they're always launching new premium classes. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of the Skillshare Premium membership, so you can start exploring your creativity with Skillshare today. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what your favorite look was from 1 through 3, and what other aesthetics you would like to see videos like this on. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you give it a like, click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!